And Jeremy Bash. So, as you know, the hostage families have been critical that the prime minister has not focused enough attention. You know, hostage release now, worry about the rest of the region and accomplishing his larger goals, if military goals later. And that's been their frustration, especially since renewing all of the effort in Gaza and these new initiatives in Hezbollah, which are very popular against the northern threat. Netanyahu has now yielded to very strong pressure from the U.S. not to go after the nuclear in this round. They expect there's going to be a series of retaliations. And Iran is acknowledging this so-called restraint, and so maybe the dire prospects for a larger war with Iran will not come to pass.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for the Israeli government, the IDF, to control escalation dominance. And by that, I mean, let them go after certain targets that directly implicate the threat against Israel today, the ballistic missiles, the drones, the cruise missiles. Those are the weapons that Iran fired at Israel on April 13th and again on October 1st. Strengthen the coalition of countries that came together to defend Israel, including at the center of it, the United States. Put in place in the region missile defense systems like THAAD, as you mentioned earlier, that the United States is now fielding, along with the U.S. service members who can operate those missile defense batteries. And then down the road, if Iran doesn't get the message and Iran is not deterred, it leaves further options on the table to go after nuclear and other energy targets.
And Israel certainly feels, Netanyahu and certainly his cabinet feel, that they have restored deterrence after the disasters of October 7th, when they were completely taken by surprise and responded slowly and ineffectively. And that with the pager and walkie-talkie explosions, with the assassinations in Tehran, which were very provocative according to the hostage negotiators, and Nasrallah and Hezbollah, that they have proved their, ability with cyber and other ways of managing and going after Hezbollah as effectively as they have, which is very popular, unlike the Gaza operation in these last few months. At this point, what do you think Israel's goals are? Because Netanyahu and other officials have talked about they're facing an existential threat, and they see a real window here, a window where they have done great damage to Hezbollah, which was the insurance policy to Tehran. And why not go after Tehran, which is their enemy? Can they accomplish what they want to do in the nuclear field if they had to, without U.S. help?
Well, Israel, America's ally, is under fire from four different directions, Andrea, not only from Hamas in Gaza, but from the West Bank, but also from Hezbollah in Lebanon and from Iran. And so from Israel's perspective, they had to defang Iran's terrorist capability on its northern border. That was Hezbollah. And I think the IDF even surprised itself with how it was able to marry pristine intelligence with kinetic strikes and wipe out Hezbollah's leadership. But let's take stock of where we are in Lebanon, because as referenced earlier, there are a lot of Americans who've got family in Lebanon. There are a lot of Lebanese Americans who are watching this situation. And here's what I would say is, I think implementation of the UN Resolution 1701 is the right formula. It's a way to get Hezbollah out of Lebanon. It's a way to get Israeli families.
That's what the U.S. is calling for.
That's right.
But my reporting is also that there are a lot of risks there, because the Lebanese army that they're trying to stand up, the Lebanese government, is so weak, and Hezbollah is so resilient. Even the remaining leaders are very heavily armed.
And we, the United States, are going to have to continue to partner with the Lebanese government. They are an important partner here. But this is a moment of opportunity here for Israel and the United States to get Hezbollah out of the politics of Lebanon, to use these tactical and strategic victories to really drive a political situation in Lebanon. We don't want Lebanon to be on fire. We want Israeli families to move back to Kiryat Shmona, to Metula, to the towns in the northern Galilee, where they've been displaced since October 8th, since Hezbollah joined this war against Israel.
And our NBC News reporting is also that the U.S. now, having called for a ceasefire internationally, and that was rejected initially, they see a potential advantage because they're upset with the United Nations peacekeepers for letting these weapons be buried in tunnels right under their feet and for being so ineffective, but they're not armed. So
the UN has not done its job. So it's going to fall again to the United States our partners and allies in the region to work together to make sure that Lebanon has a prosperous future. And I think there is going to be a campaign session between Vice President Donald Trump on the future of the Middle East, on the future of Lebanon.
One quick question, because what is the timing of Israel's attack against Iran? Everyone assumes it'll be before the election, but will they wait, from your vast knowledge, until THAAD, this new defense system, is fully operational? And how long will that take?
I think it could be a matter of days or weeks, but I don't expect that they will wait too long. This latest barrage from Iran happened on October 1st, but Israel is controlling the tempo, controlling the pace, and they're going to control the target set.
Jeremy Bash, all your experience, thank you so very much.